My name is Norman from Toontrack Music. I'm together with producer and engineer Michael Ilbert here at Hansa Studios in Berlin. And we're recording the core library of EZdrummer 3. So Michael, how long have you been here at Hansa Studios, and how did you get involved in all the EZdrummer 3 project?
Well, the first thing I would say, we did the Rooms of Hansa together, and then you guys started to talk to me about a possibility if I want to do the core library for your new version of EZdrummer 3, and I enjoyed the process very much. One thing I love is to record drums and experiment with this, so it would give me just a chance to go further in my vision of drum recording, basically.
You picked again the Hansa Studios as your favorite place to record. Why was that?
I felt that we kind of scratched the surface of it, really. This time we said that we need, mix between vintage and drums that is made today. So obviously I had to rethink a little bit of recording techniques. I couldn't repeat myself. We had to come up with something bigger, better, more. We took it one step further. Plus, I collected the gear I have for the last 25 years, and that's a reason why I picked these gear and mics.
Did you have a clear picture on what drums that we were going to pick to record in which room here at Hansa Studios?
No, not really, because the nice thing was, it's a total team effort from Damien, you and myself.
I've been a drummer for the past 35 years. And I've got a particular interest in vintage drums. I've owned many vintage drum kits over the years. I still have in my collection some snares from the 1920s and 1930s. From a young age, I was very interested in early sampling. So when early samplers like the Fairlight and Synclavier systems came out, it really transfixed me and got me interested in sampling. So bringing those two things together gives me a great oversight in the process needed of capturing, drum sample libraries.
We've been lucky with Jan, who spent a lot of time.
Yeah, Jan did an amazing job on tuning the kits and
unbelievable.
Immediately getting the right angle of sound for all of the different kits and to get different sounds on each kit, I think.
Sure,
which
very
is
much.
Very important. Yeah.
That's what I want. That's what I want, my friend. Don't hide it. Let them speak. So, you had a wish that we had to cover some more varieties of drums and material, sizes. So we did a lot of bouncing with that. That was really creative thinking. Talked about all the techniques and heads and, blast, everything you need. So I proposed when we started, quite early, to do a test session, to hear them and to pick the ones I thought would perform in these spaces. So the end result is as good as or exciting as we would hope for, The drum sounds like drums, but actually your software captures the rooms in a really good way.
Yeah.
We have 3 acoustic spaces in Hansa. The main live area is a very challenging one to get excitement out, but at the same time it can present instruments in a very natural way. The most difficult with drums in any room is to capture energy and the low end.
Yeah, okay.
What I've learned in this space is then, after we placed it, we found a sweet spot. I have some high gobos that helps me tighten up volume in the cymbals and hi-hat, control that. So the close mics have a little bit less. Plus these gobos somehow brings back the low end. And when doing it in that room, then I think the close mics and sounds amazing. very punchy, very direct, not a lot of early reflections that flutters or goes in between. Because the room doesn't have natural decay, I took two room mics, and instead of pointing normally at the drum kit, I pointing them away. Pointing mics away from the drum kit, looking for hard surfaces. It tricks the ear that the room is bigger.
Yeah.
And what we also did is we opened up the doors to the marble room live area and had a stereo royer. And that was just so ever so slightly in the room mics blend. That's also part of how we tune the drums.
Yeah.
We don't go for the boomy.
No.
The room is a bit more
controlled,
and snappier, and so that's why we put these kits in there.
Yeah.
The second space we recorded in is the marble room, which is
very interesting room.
Yeah, I mean, how is it as a drummer to sit in there and play?
It's loud. The energy of the whole kit is exaggerated in a way.
Yeah.
So it's very powerful and very aggressive. That's how I feel it behind the kit.
Yeah. Drums are physical, right? For me, drums are physical.
Very, yeah.
I see drums like that, and I think when I put up mics, that's what I try to capture. Here, again, don't have to push it so much because it's there, but you have to deal with certain things that some would say, oh, that's very harsh, or
you have to tame it.
I don't know if I tame it, but I use cymbals in that room differently than I use in other spaces. It's easy that hi-hat and cymbals starts to interfere with, let's say, the top end in a kick drum, especially a snare drum, or the attack in a tom. So if I use cymbals that is slightly brighter, is not, but they feel like pitched higher.
Yeah. You get them out of the way.
I get them out of the way.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So then it complements the room.
Yeah.
But I think the way I use it, interpreted it today, is way more using it from the physical point of view. That is, some kind of power explosion, especially for the snare drum.
Yeah. And the drums we recorded in there were perfect for that, right?
Yeah, amazing.
Being extremely full and extremely punchy and.
Yeah, the low end in those toms are great.
Yeah. And then there had been the third space, the vocal booth, the very tight and dry room.
It is a special space, and there's no help. There's no acoustics, or I mean, it's made to sing in or not. I guess put a drum kit, but I like to put a drum kit in there.
For me as a drummer, it's the most brutal space you can play in because it's so dead, it's so tight, you hear every little nuance you play.
So in the booth we done 3 kits. Talking to Jan, I explained the idea behind it, that I wanted something again powerful, lots of low end, but really short, really short. But what we did is repeated the idea of having doors open, so capture other spaces. So this will be, I think, a real fun thing. You can get it super tight in your face, nothing. You can pump it up afterwards with even, heavy compression, and the sounds will just, creep.
Which is very suitable for modern sounds, right?
Sure. That's my hope and idea, that people will enjoy that.
Yeah.
But they can get not an unnatural, but they can get a space or room that is separated.
Yeah.
You need to leave a few options for the users. At the same time, that it one click, you should go, oh, that's amazing. Where's the guitar and bass? Let's record. Let's write the song. And that's what I want to achieve with the presets. That I will, we will do like a basic preset on each kit that presents it in that space. But the next preset will be, another focus of the same kit. Much more room mics up and close mics down. We can go much more, let's say, centered. That is very much more mono and punch in the middle. We can go the opposite. We can go very wide. So all those things, we talked about, and I preparing myself, that was in my head all the time. I noticed that when you play different libraries, the MIDI is very crucial because it's the presentation of the product. So not just the beat. I'm not talking about the beat, but the velocity.
So the velocity curve really is about the feel of the drum. So if you play a really soft hit on an E-drum kit, for example, it corresponds to that soft hit in the library. So we try and capture those dynamics all the way up. If the velocity curve isn't right, it will feel unnatural to a drummer. So that is really important that we try and get that correct. The final product has really exceeded all my expectations. I knew it was going to be good, but to me it sounds amazing.
So, is it on?
No,
yeah. So,
no.
Norman.
No.
Norman.
No.
Norman. Now it's my turn. Now you
Come
ask
on.
the questions. That's my turn.
Yeah.
How does it really feel? Hitting those drums.
No, that's not your question.
Yes. Would you do this over again?
Anytime.
Hitting the drums.
Yes, of
gazillion
course.
times.
Of course. Hitting them too hard, as you always say.
Yes.
Hitting them too soft.
Yes.
So that you don't hear anything
Yes.
anymore. Capturing these instruments in that kind of detail, I really get to know the instrument on a level that I would never in a band situation, in a musical situation. But in the sampling process, I really go through all the different layers of how that instrument can sound. And that's extremely interesting. You might end up at velocity 40 or something and hitting the cymbal and realize, wow, this is sounding amazing at that point.
I appreciate your care.
Yes.
Because you make my life so much easier. I don't think there were a discussion about other drummers. But if it was, or if anyone had an opinion, I would say no, I wouldn't do it without this man. Why? Because I love him. He's the best.
It takes a certain perception of sound. I try to treat every hit that I do, envision that sound that I want to hear, and try to go for that, which I think translates into the product. That's what I learned from the teachers I had, that just don't hit it only, but make a statement with your hit. I think a listener or a user can hear that there's determination and a statement behind a hit, and not just a simple drop of a stick on a cymbal or a drum. So after weeks of recording now for the core library of EZdrummer 3, let's sum it up. How you're feeling?
I'm very happy, yeah. And I'm honored to be part of doing core library. I think this is really, really good. I'm hoping that the people who buys it on upgrades or etc., that they're going to enjoy it, and hopefully users go, whoa, this made my life, this made my day. I found a new source of inspiration. We all knew what this was about.
Yeah, right.
We knew from the beginning what we aimed for. Yeah. I can easily say we topped it a few times over.
Yes.
So kids, please go to bed.